أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نويت وأربعين وتوزلان تخلوا من تريد حسبنا الله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. We're asking support from our Shaykh Sahib al-Saif Shaykh Kibrisi Rabbani. We feel shy and ashamed to ask help from our Sultan al-Awliya. That is adab. He is our Sultan. Same way we are shy and ashamed to ask madad from the Holy Prophet ﷺ directly. Same way that we're feeling shy and ashamed to ask directly help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we ask help from the awliya Allah, they receive their help from the Sultan al-Awliya, who receive help from the Rasulullah, who receive help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that help is coming through a golden chain that is strong, that is pure, that is uncorrupted. This is manners. Allah is saying, hold on tightly to the rope of Allah and do not separate. The ropes of Allah are the awliya Allah, the Shaykhs, and they are the ones who are holding on to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're asking help from them to send us something. What is it important in these days for us, for believers? If you ask Muslims, they're going to give so many answers to what is important. If you ask unbelievers, they're going to say so many things. But mu'mins should have a different answer. Simple answer. In murid,
basit bir cevap olmadı.
very clear and simple. What is it that we are asking from Allah these days? If you ask majority of the people on earth, majority, they are asking for more dunya, isn't it? That is their concern. More dunya, better dunya. To make this dunya to become a paradise for them to live. And wishing and hoping that they will never have any suffering, any test, any challenges, wishing and hoping that they're going to live forever in this dunya like a paradise. But this dunya is not a paradise. This dunya, it is a prison. This dunya, it is a toilet. When our father Adam alayhi salam, he ate from the forbidden fruit and something happened to his holy body at that time through disobedience, he had to get rid of what was inside his body. It cannot be put in the paradise because the paradise, it is pure, it is clean. Paradise is not here on earth. Paradise is nowhere on earth. If you ask people, the idea of paradise is also different. You ask those living in Europe, the idea of paradise is a tropical island. Palm trees and sandy beaches, isn't it? That is paradise. If you ask paradise for retirees in America, they say paradise is a house on a lake. That is their retirement paradise, isn't it? So, some people, paradise is somewhere where they can suntan whole day long. Different ideas of paradise. This world is not a paradise. The mistake is to make this world to be a paradise. Don't make this world to be a paradise. No prophet ever came to turn this world into a paradise. No Shaykh came to turn this world into a paradise. They came to turn our hearts to the real paradise that is our home. They're making our hearts to turn to the real paradise from where we came from, not from this world. All the problems, all the conflicts, all the cruelty, all the oppression, all the evil comes because we are racing and fighting with each other to make this world into a paradise. But the friends of Allah, the prophets, they came to teach us how to become Ahli Jannat, to be people of paradise. Not to teach us how to turn this world into a paradise, but to teach us how to become people of paradise. It's completely different. Because the people of paradise, wherever they go, that area is going to turn into a paradise. That area will be filled with mercy and light and happiness. It doesn't matter if you are in a place where there is nothing there. Because the Ahli Jannat, the Ahli Paradise, the people of paradise, the world is a veil that they lifted from in front of them. And they no longer see this world, but they see the reality beyond this world. Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, between my mihrab and my mimbar is one of the gardens of paradise. Didn't he? In the Masjid al-Nabawi. He's saying, the area between the mihrab and the mimbar in my masjid, it is one of the gardens of paradise. If you're trying to look with these eyes, you're never going to see anything. No prophets, no saints came to teach us how to look with these eyes. They came to teach us how to look with the eyes of our heart. If that veil is lifted, we will see that paradise. That's what Shaykhs, they are teaching us, how to lift those veils so that we can understand and feel and experience the paradise while we are on earth. Paradise is not what people think it is. It's completely different. If the Quran is describing paradise, it is to give us an idea of what it is. It is not what it is. Paradise definitely is not somewhere here on earth, like they are teaching. It's somewhere in the Middle East, or it's somewhere in Iraq. Iraq is paradise? Since when it became paradise? It's always been kind of difficult, isn't it? So the whole thing is not, don't look for paradise here. First, become an Ahli Jannat. Become people of paradise. What is a person of paradise? What are people from paradise? Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, even if you have a speck of arrogance in your heart, paradise is forbidden to you. If you have anger in your heart, paradise is forbidden. If you have stubbornness, paradise is forbidden. If you have dirtiness, paradise is forbidden to you. Paradise is a place where it is pure and it is clean. And it admits only people who are pure and clean. Hell is not a punishment. Hell, it is to clean. Allah is not deriving pleasure from punishing His creatures. But if the creatures have not cleaned themselves when they are here on earth, they are not clean in the grave. You have to get clean, because our original home is paradise. And paradise will not admit those ones who are impure and those ones who are dirty. Are we saying, am I saying that I'm pure, I'm clean? Are we saying that? No. Are we concentrating on that? No. In fact, we're concentrating on how to get rid of our dirtiness. Not how clean we are, but how to get rid of that. If we are always concentrating on that, we may be clean. Even if certain things are still there, it's very easy for the people of Jannat, the Ahli Paradise, the people of Paradise, the friends of Allah, to come and to clean us up. But if we are busy with this world, busy with racing and chasing and running after the tricks and the traps of this world to make this world to become a paradise, then that time it will be very difficult and very harsh for us to reach to our original home, to go back there. Because our heart has to be with that. It cannot be here. This world is a toilet. Adam alayhi salam was sent from paradise to come to this world to get rid of the dirtiness that happened when he ate from the forbidden fruit. So we should think, we should make bridges to reach to our original home. We should be with people who have not made their homes, who have not put their hearts, who have not put their spirits to make this world to be a permanent place for them, but they are always looking forward to that day when they are going to meet their Lord. They're going to meet their Prophet. They're going to meet their Shaykh. Because in reality, paradise is only with the people of paradise. Jannat is not going to be Jannat if it's empty. And you are going to be with the ones that you love. If our love is with our Shaykh, with the awliya Allah, then we will be with them. And wherever they are, it is paradise. May Allah keep us in safety and make us to live with more strength and faith and ease to carry our iman, to carry our faith in these days. Because carrying in faith in these days, Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying, is like carrying fire in your hands. We cannot drop it. We have to keep it. Wa min Allahu tawfiq, may Allah forgive me and bless all of you for the sake of Sahib al-Saif. Al-Fatiha. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. If you have any questions, ask. Okay, Bismillah. Say.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Could our Shaykh's Khalifah tell us how he met Shaykh Efendi?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. How I met Shaykh Efendi in this world? Yeah, I can speak a little bit maybe. About 13 years ago. Or more than that. How long? If you're talking about 16 years ago. 1998. I met Shaykh Efendi. Physically, in this world. Spiritually, he has always been my Shaykh, no? We separated from him. He never separated from us. Spiritually, he was there. He's always been. He was there when we were born. He was there when we were growing up. Because he was there. He was our Shaykh on the day of Kalubala, on the day of promises. When Allah asked us that question, am I not your Lord? It was him that made us to say, yes, indeed you are my Lord. that is one of the realities that people are not understanding. They think sheikhs are like just somebody that you choose. They're looking, oh, I like this one, I don't like this one, I like this sheikh. Next time, no. So, I met Shaykh Efendi. Alhamdulillah. My last year in graduate school, I was looking for a sheikh for years before that. And finally I met him. And I knew my life was going to change completely. I was not under any illusion to think that, oh, I can balance things. I take bayat and I can live my life, because now I know, for me, maybe for other people it's different, but for me, where the direction of this dunya was pushing for me, I knew that I had to make a choice. And I asked Allah to help me. At that time I wasn't following a sheikh, I couldn't go to a sheikh to ask. I asked Allah to help me that I make a sincere decision, but I didn't think that I was going to make a decision by myself with my own strength and I was able to keep it. I had to trick my ego. So I met Shaykh Efendi, and I had never known anyone who loves Allah and His Prophet more, and who loves Islam. I met so many different kinds of people, so many religious people, so many imams, other sheikhs also, but with that kind of yaqeen, certainty, with that kind of love, with the kind of passion, ashq. I've never met anyone like that. With a kind of humbleness, but with a kind of majesty, the kind of softness, but with a kind of complete strength that I've never seen anyone have before. And I knew my life was going to change. But I said, it's okay, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And the months turned to years. The years became more years. And before I know it, I made certain decisions to base my life on this way. And only Murshid can do that to you. Can make your heart to turn around. You cannot do that with books. You cannot do that through thinking alone. You have to meet someone who is a direct descendant of the spiritual teachings of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. One sheikh, not two or three. So many people saying, I take bayat from this sheikh, this sheikh, this sheikh, this sheikh, this sheikh. Say, yeah, have fun with it. But one, follow one. Everyone say, oh, okay, I'll follow. Everyone, Shaykh is Shaykh Maulana. How many times you speak to him? Oh, he always speaks to me. Yeah, that's right, because now you're falling into that illusion and delusion. He sent someone to represent him, living. None of the Sahaba Kiram said, we don't need to take bayat with Hazrat Abu Bakr. We all have connection to Prophet, and Prophet came to me spiritually. No, we took bayat to Hazrat Abu Bakr. And the fitna that continued from that time until today is because there are certain people who don't want to take bayat with Hazrat Abu Bakr. Isn't it? Or Hazrat Umar, or Hazrat Usman. So there has to be a living representative. And that living representative, it affected me, it affected my heart. And he loved Islam. So many people looking for Sufism. Maybe we read a couple of things and say, yes, but it is still very far away from the reality. The reality is much more interesting, much deeper, much more complex than what you are reading through translation of a translation of a translation of some poems that was written 1,000 years ago. Because Tasawwuf is a living tradition. It's not something that is a museum piece. It has to be alive, fresh and alive, and living, and giving life to people in all ages at all times. So, I met Shaykh Efendi, and I didn't look back since. Alhamdulillah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send more blessings to him, raise his station higher and higher, and may he send more support to us, inshallah rahman. May Allah forgive us. Assalamu alaikum.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Say.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I have had some bad experiences and now feel like I'm growing distant from my Shaykh. It has been so long since I've had a dream of him. I feel like I've disappointed and displeased my Shaykhs. How can I please my masters and get them to forgive me?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. If you know that you make some mistakes, make up for it. In America, they're teaching people just to feel sorry and then to say, I'm sorry. Just to say that. Sleeping, yeah. Huh? Wait, I'm going to fix you. Then to say, I'm sorry. Then everyone to turn around and say, oh, it's okay, baby. Don't cry. Then you say, okay. Then later you do it again. Then you say, I'm sorry. No. You do something wrong, you know there's a price to pay. You should stand up, be an adult, and to pay the price. That's what it is. Now, you cannot do everything. Do something. You do something wrong, Shaykh Efendi is saying. Don't just sit and say, I'm sorry. You do something wrong, run to do something right. Don't be still. And if you know what you did that is wrong, yes, go to sajda and say astaghfirullah, then get up from the sajda and fix the problem. If it's with you, try to fix it. If it's with other people, fix that with other people. If you feel that you cannot do it alone, our way is open, isn't it? Consultation is important in our tariqat. So consult. Speak. You may call here. You may speak to me. If it's difficult to speak to me, sometimes I'm doing a couple of things. You may speak to certain people here. Everyone is keeping consultation only with their own ego. Only with the voices in their heads. But they're not seeking consultation from people who can help them in this spiritual way. You're not going to consult with people who are not. If you're going through a spiritual crisis, you're not going to be consulting with someone who does not have that ability to help you. No matter how much they love you, they may do more damage to you that time. So, if you consult, then slowly you'll be able to get somewhere. Because this whole world, our lives, in reality, this whole of creation is running, is working, not because we are doing something. This whole creation is spinning, it is working because of the prayers. Not of everyone, of a few people who are beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So run to seek the prayers of those who are close to Allah and ask for their help. And be sincere. And that time, inshallah rahman, once you start moving, will turn around. It has to. But you cannot make your life to turn around if you're stubborn and you're arrogant. If you have excuses, people have so many excuses. They say, I did something, please help me. Say, okay, what you did this, okay. Now try to do this, but I cannot do this, they say. If I do this, this is the reason why. They keep coming up with excuses. Every excuse that you put, it's like you're putting another wall in front of you and the mercy of Allah. Another excuse, another veil, another wall, another barricade. So, more sincere you are, more help will reach to you. It's easier that time. Inshallah Rahman. May Allah increase our sincerity. Consult and ask those who may help you. Get rid of stubbornness and arrogance, and to take the suggestion, the advice, to put it in your lives, inshallah. That time, something may happen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Give.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In a sohbet by Shaykh Abdulkerim and Kibrisi, he said that it is okay to eat fish often but not meats. Are there any specific types of fish that are sunnah? There are some fish that are not good for health because of their high levels of things which are not good for you.
Don't eat dolphin. Okay? There are crazy people out there, they eat dolphin. Dolphin is the beloved creature of Allah. Dolphin is the fish of Yunus alayhi salam, that when he came out from the mouth of the fish, they help him to bring him to safety. They're highly intelligent animals, but people are eating dolphin. People are eating whale. They have no other things to eat. They say it's tradition. If it's bad tradition, put it aside. Who says because it's tradition is good? The Jahiliyyah times, the Arabs who are Jahil, and there's so many Arabs that time that are Jahil, and so many Arabs this time that they're Jahil also. They say it is a tradition for us to bury our children alive. So we're going to say because it's tradition we should keep it? No. Every culture has Islam in it. Every culture has faith in it. Whether it's African or Chinese or European or Indonesian, it has Islam in it. But every culture, it also has things in it which is not Islam, not Islamic. And usually when cultures, they accept Islam as a whole people, majority they accept, then Islam acts as a filter. It purifies, it filters, then the best things they keep, things that are no good, it's put aside. But certain cultures that are not accepting Islam completely, there may still be certain practices that is not liked by Allah and His Prophet. I know the Japanese, they eat dolphins. Of course, not all Japanese. When I say Japanese, some of them. They say they eat once a year, they bring dolphins to a cove and they kill them. The water is red everywhere and they eat the meat. By the way, whatever Allah has forbidden, it is bad for us. And the dolphin, it has a very high level of mercury. Not only high, it's toxic. If you eat it, you get sick. You will die. It's the reason why Allah is forbidding it. But now, there are certain Japanese people, maybe they embrace Islam, correct? Good, mashallah. Definitely, once a person embraces Islam, he will go to higher stations. But now, that Japanese person, if we say, well, you shouldn't eat dolphin, he cannot be stubborn and say, no, I have to eat it. because it is my culture. This is the problem. Because people think Islam is a religion. Islam is not just a religion, it is a lifestyle. It is a civilization. It is a culture. It is not just a religion. You cannot say, I have Islam, but I have my own culture. Your culture has to be Islam. But that doesn't mean now, as some square-head Wahhabi kind, they say Islamic culture is only Arab culture. No. There are Muslims from Africa, Muslims from Eastern Europe, Muslims from the Middle East, Muslims from China, Muslims from India, Muslims from Southeast Asia. They are all different cultures, they are all Muslims, but they are not the same. So, if something that is in our culture it is no good, we should leave it. Don't be too attached. Who is going to decide? You are not going to decide. In these days it's very difficult to decide. Because in the past it's very easy. Awliya Allah, they decide. The righteous scholars, they decide. The Khalifahs and the Sultans, they decide. These days, the bottom feeders, they decide. Fitna makers, they decide. Facebook people, they decide. Media, they decide. So the bottom people, they are deciding. Complete chaos now that's happening. So, what kinds of fish is it sunnat to eat? Well, fish that is healthy for you, eat. Fish that is not healthy for you, don't eat. Fish that is clean for you, eat. Fish that is not clean for you, don't eat. I know certain kinds of fish, they raise in farms and they're feeding waste, human waste and animal waste. They put it there and the fish eats, isn't it? And people are eating a lot of it. We don't like that kind of fish. If you want to eat it, it's your choice. I'm not going to stop you. If you're going to say, well, everything that comes from the sea is halal, Prophet ﷺ is saying, says, of course it is. But there are certain things that are, in these days especially, it is not good for you. We have the reactor in Japan. It blew up, right? Fukushima? It blew up, isn't it? In Japan. And that radiation is reaching all the way to the west coast, isn't it? But if people still say, because Prophet says everything comes from the sea, it is clean and it is halal, if you still want to eat fish coming from the reactor site of Fukushima, go ahead. You're not using intelligence. If you're going to eat fish that are farmed in areas where there is no control, they're putting a lot of chemicals in there, giving them human waste and everything, if you still want to eat it, go ahead and eat it. It's not too good. But I know I'm watching Shaykh Efendi. What he's eating, that we eat. Simple things that we're eating here. Fish, what you eat. You want to eat sardines, eat. Hamsi, eat. You want to eat mackerel, it's good. Make sure you know where it is coming from. It's clean, eat. Inshallah, the whole purpose of doing this is so that it gives us energy to be able to worship. To give us energy for our bodies so that we can worship, not to make us to become more sick. May Allah give you more strength, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah. Afiyet olsun.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. How can we save ourselves from the punishment in the grave?
Live your life correctly. can escape from the punishment in the grave. There are so many things that we can do, worship-wise, that will protect us from punishment in the grave, of course. So many. For example, reading Surah Al-Kahf for Jummah, reading Surah Al-Mulk every night, fasting on certain holy days and holy nights, keeping us, putting barricade between us and the punishment in the grave. So many things. There, ibadat-wise. Well, you're making ibadat, doing all those things, but you're still continuing to do things outside of that ibadat, outside of that worship, wrong things. Those things are going to be cancelled too. Now, we have to look what we're doing. Ask for forgiveness for the wrong things that we're doing. Run to do something right. Ask for prayers of the holy ones. And Shaykh Efendi is always saying, be careful and ask yourself, what are you sending to your grave today? What did I do today to send things to the grave? Are we sending light and jewels with our good actions and our good intentions, or are we sending snakes and scorpions with our bad intentions and bad actions? That is very easy for you to figure out. What are you being busy with? Are you being busy with Allah and His Prophet and your Shaykh? Or are you being busy with the dunya and running after malayani and pleasures in the treasures of the dunya? I see sometimes, I'm checking, sometimes on Facebook too, people, alhamdulillah, they're taking bayat, they are making zikr, they are following a shaykh, but most of the time they're being busy with things that is completely malayani. You say you're following a spiritual order, but you're being busy with things there's nothing to do with your spirit. It's no good too. May Allah stop us from doing all these things. Make us to be on the Sirat al-Mustaqim. Assalamu alaikum. Tamam. Başka.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Are we supposed to be happy on this earth? Nothing seems to make sense to me anymore. I am surrounded by people who are not helping me. I'm frustrated by having to go on the internet to obtain spiritual guidance, and then I don't feel anything. What would you advise in order to overcome this hopelessness?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Conduct yourself. Be in the company of, be with the Salihin. Keep it there. Do not separate yourself from the Jama'at of good people. This is not my words, this is Allah's words. Allah is giving us an order. Be with Salihin. And if we are with Salihin, good people, people who are holding on tightly to an awliya Allah and living the life that the awliya Allah is giving advice to them to do, then that time you will learn how to get rid of so many, not only hopelessness, anger, frustration, depression, stupidity, ghaflat, disobedience, all these other spiritual diseases. Slowly you will understand it. Not only you understand it, you understand where it's coming from and how to take it out and what to do with it. You're not going to feel that it's overwhelming. If you're alone, definitely it's going to be overwhelming, because you are not alone in reality. You are surrounded by your ego and shaitan. So, yes, people go into the internet to obtain spiritual fulfillment. You cannot. You cannot now go on the internet to get that. You get spiritual fulfillment only from people who have spirituality. That is the original way. Okay, as a gateway, as an entryway, you may go to the internet to find out certain things, but beyond that, you say nothing beats direct contact with a spiritual master. Nothing beats that. Nothing can replace that. And once you make contact with your spiritual master, he may guide you. Are we supposed to be happy on this earth? We are supposed to be happy with Allah. Full stop. We're supposed to be happy with Allah and His Prophet and the awliya Allah. Once you're happy with Allah, Allah will be happy with you. Everything around you will be happy with you. And you will be happy with everything around you. That time it doesn't matter if you're living in a palace or you're living in the streets. You will be happy. Because now that happiness is coming from here. It's not coming from what is surrounding you. So many, they are doing things to make them feel happy, but there's no happiness because it's not coming from the inside. It's not coming from your heart. And the heart can only find peace and satisfaction and happiness with Allah. Nothing else. Isn't it? Because what is the ayat saying? The heart can only be satisfied with Allah. So say Allah, find the people of Allah, follow the men of Allah, who will remind you of Allah and to live your life in remembrance of Allah. That time, no matter how difficult it is, you will find peace. You'll find reason. You'll find satisfaction. You'll find that you're going somewhere. Ups and downs you are going to go through in this spiritual path. You have to go through it, up and down. If you don't go through up and down, you are not making any progress. Because now, if you are going to make progress in school, you have to study, you have to go for a test. Sometimes you pass, sometimes you fail. But you have to go through it. It's not just easy all the way. That is how you make progress. In the spiritual way, it's the same thing too. But at the bottom line is, you feel peace, alhamdulillah, because you're doing something that Allah loves, that Allah likes, that His Prophet ﷺ loves, that our awliya Allah, our murshid and our shaykh, they are telling us to do. We are weak, we may fail, but we have to pick up ourselves again to be on the straight way. That is the difference now. So, Inshallah Rahman, if you are surrounded by people who are not helping you, surround yourself with people who are helping you. Find people who are helping you and be busy with them. Inshallah Rahman. Don't lose hope. It's just coming from ego and shaitan. This internet and everything is still a mercy to people who is using it for a good way. Don't let it to become a curse. May Allah make it easy for you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Evet, last question.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So many murids are young, mashallah. There seems to be very few older aged murids. Why is this in our way?
Bismillah. Because you cannot teach old dogs new tricks. Astaghfirullah. I'm old. Look at me. We're all getting older. That's the thing. You're looking. Alhamdulillah. Thank you. Saying that we are young men. We're not young men. We're old. Look, Ibrahim is old. Haji Bilal is old. He's old. Everyone's getting old. Everyone's getting old. We start young and we get old. But the young ones now, they are strong and they are more impressionable. They are easier, their hearts to learn new tricks, to understand. They are not so set in their way. They still have the energy to run, to do new things. If you have that spirit and you are 40 years old, you're welcome. If you have that spirit and you're 50 years old, yes, we have old people too. We have a few, I'm not going to say so many, we have a few old people, yes, they are there too, but their spirit is very young. The spirit of youth is what? They're energetic. They are interested. They are not negative. They want to try something and they want to do it. Strong. We have so many that are young too, but their spirit is very dead, very old. And they come here just like this. Year after year after year. Finally they leave. We have some older people. Hussein Abi coming, right? His spirit is younger than so many people. Very lama, very active like this. But Shaykh Efendi knows what he's doing. He's taking the young ones. Young ones, when they're growing, you can guide them and they grow according to your guidance. If it's the older one, it's a little bit difficult. Like they say in some cultures, if you want to bend the tree, you bend it when it's young. Once it gets old, you bend it, it's going to break. Or it's impossible to bend it. So, may our spirits be soft and pliant, to be bent and shaped by our murshid, inshallah. Yeah. Inshallah Rahman, may Allah forgive me. Yeah. Yes, you cannot teach an old dog new tricks. We are all here hoping to become the dogs of our Shaykh. May we be the kitmir of our Shaykh. And there are so many characteristics of the dogs that Shaykh Maulana said. Shaykh Efendi always making us to remember the 12 characteristics of the dogs that the awliya Allah and the anbiya Allah, the prophets and the saints, they must have. And we're seeing young people, they can carry so many of this. Older people, they say, nah, I like where I am, it's okay, I'm fine. But the young people, they say, cold water? Okay, I'll try it. Older ones, they say, it's cold water? Alhamdulillah, shukr. I stay at home. Some say, you do it. I've done it before. I've been there, done that. I don't have to do it again. It's enough for me. Inshallah, may more young people and any kind of people be in our way. We have a lot to give. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may open our week, open our month, open our year for us to become better ones and for us to become more sincere ones, stronger ones, inshallah, to take away troubles that is ahead of us, to take away the fitna, to take away the nazar from us, to make us to become servants of Allah, for us to be on the list that we are servants of Allah for this day, for this week, for this month, for this year, for the rest of our lives. For the sake of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, Sultan al-Awliya and Sahib al-Sayyid al-Fatiha. Amin. Assalamu alaikum. Have a good day.